This is Bryan from LogicProHacks. Welcome. Well, today, I'm doing something a little interesting, kind of an experimental. There is a synth out there you may not know, or you may know, and it's called a JP-8080, or it's made by Roland, or an 8000. Depends on like if you get the full size. I mean, the keyboard version, which is the 8000, and the 8080 is the rack mount version. Now, the cool thing about this synth is it makes an amazing saw synth. It uses some really fancy mathematical algorithms with its detuning, and also has some really advanced mix with its partials. Especially when you get into the whole dark world of synthesis. I am not the guru of synthesis, but I know just a little bit. And the one thing that I really like about the JP-8080 is it really has a nice sound to it, duly rightly so. That's the reason why they're kind of very sought after for making the typical trance saw sound. And one of the things I was reading about it is it uses 7 saw waves. Why 7? I don't know. Well, anyway, so I decided to experiment around with retro synth and see if I can create my own version of a 7 synth saw wave. Yes, that's right. So we'll go ahead and we'll start off with the first one, and I'll show you. I created 2 different versions. The first one here is the retro saw. What you do is you first just do your regular software instrument. You hit create, and then you go in here and you just go instrument. You pick your retro synth. Let's bring this guy over here and let's blow this up a little bit bigger. Make it 100%. And the first thing I did is I just take all the way down to oscillator 2. The other thing I like to do is I take off the low pass. I just take off pretty much everything I can take off. And then what you also want to do is you want to go in here to the settings, and you want to take this to 0 and the stereo spread to 0, and change this to off. And leave the 16 voices because like it will affect your, like if you're going to do like a full polychord, you want that on. And I believe that is it. Let's go ahead and then you just leave it at the regular saw wave right there, and that's what's going to be playing. So if we go ahead and play this right now, you'll hear it. Let's go ahead and take the volume down a little bit so it won't blow you away. Yeah, it sounds like a typical saw wave. Very good. Yay. The other thing that I did here was I made sure this is down the sine level and the volume is okay. You go in here in the amp envelope. I changed my release to like 130. So you just type that in there. And then this one I changed to 100. So that, just kind of like, whenever you're doing pads or saws, you don't want your attack so sharp, and you want a little bit longer release. Kind of like that. It depends on taste. So that's what I did there. Let's go ahead and shut that out. Now you can see, now I kind of did that the same, and then after I made my settings, then I just hit Command D and duplicate it, and then you rename it again. You go back over here, and now what I did now is I went to the tuning. And you can see over here that I got different tunings, and I'm kind of experimenting around with, all right, what's the best tuning? And I have not figured that part out. I think that's kind of left up to preference. So I found out that if I do like a kind of wide spectrum of tunings, you got a minus 32 cents, so you go minus 32 all the way down here, like that for the first one. And then so I kept on duplicated again, and then I changed the tuning again. And so I did that all the way down until I got, all my tunings, and I created 7 of them. And then once I created 7 of them, then you just, you highlight all the ones that you created, and you just right click on it, and you just do create track stack. And when you create track stack, you pick the summing stack, and that's what I did. And I hit cancel because I already have mine created. So I'll go ahead and just delete these guys out because those were just for example. Now, you see that I have 1, 2, 7 of them, all at different tunings. So what does it sound like? All right, we'll go ahead and just hit you a chord here so that you can hear what it sounds like. I'll do a D minor chord because I like D minor. And that is no effects. And also, let's go ahead and open up the mixer window. I want to show you something too. I have the volume all at an even, you will have to take the volume down because the volume will multiply. So even that could be a little too loud. So we can go ahead and just take it down to maybe like 16, minus 16. Now I'll do a full chord, full D chord. Oh, yeah, that's another thing. Make sure you hit this one first, the main summing track to play all 7. That sounds pretty cool. That sounds really cool right there. It's not a bad saw sound, and that is from the retro synth. I'm not using any type of thing, and I have to say it sounds very similar to the JP-8080. Now I don't have one, or I don't own one, and I eventually would like to own one, but I just don't have the money to. I mean, they're brand new or in mint condition. You can pick one up for about $650 on eBay, and it's just a little too much for my budget right now. So anyhow, I decided, all right, well, what can I do to get this JP-80 sound? And so that's why I'm doing this. And now the cool thing is, all right, well, what happens if you did this and you put some effects on it? Let's just put some regular reverb, and then let's see what it sounds like with some reverb. D minor chord again. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. I love it. It's just a really nice, wide, great sound. So now, here's the cool thing. I created another retro synth, a different one, same tuning. We could even take the volume down. What did I have the volume at before? Let's go ahead and just pick that out. And we have it at 12. And the other one, we had the volume at, we took it down to 16.8. So we'll just go ahead and make sure that our volume for all these 7 of these guys is at 16.8. Because I'm going to show you a different test here. I want to make sure the volumes are the same. All right, come on, get there. There we go. All right. So we got this one here. Now, let me first explain what's going on with this one. Why is this one different? Same tuning, same volume, same everything. All right, well, we'll go ahead and click on one here. Now, but the only difference is I'm using the Wavetable. And the cool thing about Logic 10.1 or whatever version it is at, the latest version of Logic, the retro synth, they upgraded the retro synth with the ability to do custom wavetables. And so I went in here and I'd said create wavetable from audio file. So you hit that and it comes up, and I just go to the folder. Where did I keep that folder at? Yeah, there it is. Oh, by the way, Sunriser is a VST synth that you can get. And it's a pretty cool, it mimics the JP-8080. So it's a pretty cool synth. So what I did is I recorded someone was doing a video comparison between the multi-saw of UHE's Diva and the Roland JP-8080. Well, they so happened to do that video in 1080p. And I felt like, hey, he was actually playing the Roland JP-8080 with the default sound. I was like, oh man, I could pick up that saw. And he actually played it in the key of C, I think. I can't remember what key. But anyways, it was perfect to sample that from a YouTube video. Yes, I took his sample. I hacked his sample. Yes, that is why we call ourselves LogicProHacks, because we hack things. That's what we do. And I am very proud of it. So I hacked it, converted the video over to a WAV file, and this is what I got right here. Yeah, nice. and I did not eat beans for dinner either. Cool. So I went and just said pick that, and what happens is when you hit open, it'll do its thing, and it'll say something like this. It'll say it created a single waveform, because in actuality, it is a single waveform. There was no other waveforms in that file. and it'll give you some, blah, blah, blah crap about how only certain things are available, which is fine with me. I did not care. And because the way I'm running this synth is I have this all the way down to 0. I'm not using this guy up here. And I have my, again, all the way at the bottom here. And then I'm also doing the same tuning. Semitunes, I'm not messing with it. I'm just trying to experiment and see if this synth sound is really that good. And then in the settings, I again, the same thing as before, 16 voices, no voice detune, no stereo spread, voice stacking is off. So it's your basic, I'm trying to, and if I go ahead and I just play it, minus the tuning, it should sound pretty much the same. If we go over here and highlight it, make sure it's highlight. I gotta go lower. That's that low C chord. So there you go. And so it pretty much, it sounds the same that I sampled, and it should sound the same. All right, that's good. And then, I made sure the attack and the release is the same as well. That's cool. And then what I did is I duplicated each one till I got 7 cents. And then I made, I did various detunings on each one, and I wrote them down on the track so you could see each one has the same detuning, plus 30, plus 20, plus 10. And the middle one, I'm using no detuning on the middle one. Because that's the one thing I was reading up about the JP-8080 was the middle and the main fundamental, partial, whatever you want to call it, did not have any detuning. At least that's what, from my understanding of it. Again, I am not the JP-8080 expert. I'm just more trying to experiment and try to figure out, okay, is this really going to give me a good sound or not? So, I tried it out, and I have to say I like it. So let's go ahead and let's just get out of this, and I'll go ahead and I'll play a little something for you here. See if you guys like it. So this is the JP-8080 sampled from the Wavetable. D minor chord. The B flat. Not bad at all. I really like it. There's no reverb, no nothing. That's just with all the detunings that I engaged there. Now, if we go over here to the retro saw, and we're going to do the same chord progression again. Oh, we got to take the reverb out just real quick so you guys can. I'll have to do that test over again. And then let's go ahead and just go back over to this one, the JP-8080. And then go back to the retro saw again. All right, so from what I am hearing, there's not that much of a difference, if any at all. It almost sounds like the JP-8080 is just a tad little brighter, and the main saw synth from Logic's own retro saw is a little bit warmer. I don't know. It could be that my design and this test right here is maybe I got my tunings off. I'm not really sure what is the best tunings to program in. I just kind of went with, all right, just kind of like a wide spectrum, and I just picked some random numbers. But I did it both the same. It sounds really decent. It's something that you could really, if you're looking for something to do on a really interesting track, or you just wanted to really just bring something in different from anybody else, I think this would really work. Let's go ahead, and I kind of forgot I have my mastering chain on. Let's go ahead and we'll just take off all this, because I think that might be affecting. I'll leave the add limiter on because that won't do it. And so let's go ahead and just play this test one more time to the JP sim first. All right, and now let's go ahead and do the retro saw again. I'm not really hearing any difference. It seems like to me they're both exactly the same. Maybe the retro synth kind of modeled after that, or again, maybe the JP-80s is a little tad brighter. But now here's the cool thing. I added some effects. So we'll go ahead and just enable the effects. We got how much we got? -7 on reverb, and then we'll go ahead on over here and I'll do -7 for reverb for this one. All right. So let's go ahead and just see what it sounds like for that. All right, and let's go ahead and do this one. Yeah, I'm not really hearing that much of a difference. And I'm not sure if there's some kind of algorithms that get changed when you do a wavetable sample, or if they actually modeled their saw sound after the JP-8080. That's a question I'm going to leave to you guys in the comments. And if you guys could figure that out, you know, that'd be great. But right now, let's go ahead and let's just have a little fun with this and play with it a little bit. So on this one, let me show you another trick that I did. Is I did this thing that's called harm left, harm right. And what it is I'm using some pitching. You can see right here, the pitch shifting. And what you do is your basic what you're doing is you take a pitch shifter and you put one on its own aux channel. And you have one that's set for -9 cents and the other one that's set for a +14 cents. And then on the one that's set for -9, you change the delay to 9.7 milliseconds, and change the delay to 14. And then you just set each one to like 30% mix and vocals for each. And for the harm left is the -9 and the harm right is the +14. And so I made two different aux channels right there, and I hard pan them, you know, hard left and hard right for the panning. And then I also grouped it to another bus again, and that bus is going to a modulation delay, but I have it inactive right now, disabled, and I created a group, and it's going out to stereo out. So that is bus, yeah, it's going to bus 20 and 21. All right, so let's go ahead and, so I did that, and you can see it's going out, and I'm also doing a pre-fader on both of them. I think it just sounds really cool when you do a pre-fader. It sounds better. You get a better mix out of it. So let's go ahead and see what it sounds like that all active right now. Not bad, not bad at all. It's a really nice wide saw sound. And then let's go ahead and just do that for this one as well. And it's 100% if you, yeah, zero. Again, I cannot tell a difference. Maybe my ears aren't that good, or maybe I'm just not sure. So, tell me what you guys think of this. If you like it, if not, I'll scratch it and I'll just put it away. Again, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to throw this project up at blend.io for you guys to download if you want to try it out yourself. And that's it. It's a short little one. You guys have fun. All right, bye.